For shame. On today's show, Bitcoin crash. Why the Bitcoin price is suddenly falling. Also, whale shift 26,500 Bitcoin to accumulation addresses as BTC falls to a 3-month low. Also on today's show, steady folks. Bitcoin's still on track to hit 200,000 K this year, says Analysts. All this and so much more on today's show. Welcome, folks, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka, and today is February 25th, 2025. Bitcoin bleeding red. So I changed my computer back to red scenery, as you can see here in the close-up. Not a good look. Back to November 2024 prices. Having said that, there have been in the previous Bitcoin 4-year cycles many 30% downturns in the market before things turned around and went up. And a friend of mine was asking, what do you recommend for Bitcoin considering this big downturn? And I said, I bought the dip, and if I have to hodl until 2028, then I'll hodl until 2028. But for me, it's certainly not selling time yet. Let's get right into our Market Watch Bitcoin technical analysis, and we'll talk a little more about the downturn that we're seeing today a little later in the show. I've got some respectable stories for that. Getting into our Bitcoin Coin 360 Market Watch, we have Bitcoin currently at 89,115. It was down quite a bit more earlier. We have Ethereum down currently 1% at $2,500. Solana up for 1.5%, $143. XRP up 0.25%, $2.31. Doge pretty much even, 21 cents on the 24-hour period. Of course, if we had looked at this earlier today, we would have seen much bigger losses. But it is 10 p.m. Eastern time right now in North America, so things have kind of steadied out a little bit. Let's get into our crypto bubbles for the day. Interestingly enough, it's showing everything in the green right now, so people certainly are going in, buying the dip, and the markets kind of turn around, at least temporarily. Let's hope it holds. IP currently up 12%, Maker up 21%, Hype up 8%. We've got about 75-80% in the green and 20% in the red, including Bitcoin still showing 3.5% down in a 24-hour period. If we look at the week, we have IP up 161%, Maker 42%, Sonic 20%, SEI 27%. But for the week, we have about a 80 to 85% down to 15-20% up. And let's zoom out to the monthly, and we've got pretty much 90% of the cryptos in the red for the month, including many that are down about 45 to 50%. Tel is an outlier, up 50%. Sonic up 50%. Maker up 50%. Ohm up 64%. And, for shits and giggles here, let's zoom out to the monthly so we're not so depressed on such a down day. And we've got Pepe up 370% for the year. Virtual up 2,000%. XLM up 150%. Dex up 400%. Ohm up 3,350%. Tel up 370%. XRP up 321%. So, as I've said before, if you hodl, things will eventually go back up and you'll make money. On days like these, Personally, I bought the dip. Not a substantial buy because, I don't have that kind of extra funds kicking around, but I certainly, whenever the price dips in the red, I am buying. Currently, the Bitcoin market cap is at $1.9 trillion, Ethereum at $324 billion, XRP $143 billion, Solana $78 billion, Doge $34 billion, Cardano $29 billion, and Tron at number 10 at $21 billion market cap. The total market cap for all of crypto is sitting at 2.89 trillion, with Bitcoin at 61% of the dominance, Ethereum at 10.42%, XRP 4.64%, and BNB coin 3%. Let me refresh the screen, and we again are in extreme fear here at 21. Yesterday was a 25, and last week was a 44 in neutral. We have approximately 1,150 days until the next Bitcoin halving. There are 164,811 coins left to mine until that time, and 1,171,285 left to mine until the year 2140, where the last coin is mined. Refresh again. We have a Bitcoin at the number 9 position, passed by Saudi Aramco by, of course, $2 million now. Gold at number 1, 19.7 trillion. Apple 3.7 trillion. Nvidia 3.1 trillion. Microsoft 2.9 trillion. Amazon 2.25 trillion. Google 2.1 trillion. Silver 1.808 trillion. Saudi Aramco 1.768 make that trillion. Bitcoin in the number 9 spot. It held the number 7 spot for a very, very, very long time until now, at 1.766 trillion. Meta at number 10, 1.66 trillion. We've got Berkshire Hathaway sitting in number 11 at 1 trillion even. TSM at 980 billion, and Tesla also fallen under $1 trillion at 949 billion. That would be 973 billion, in fact. And currently you can get 1,123 Satoshis for $1 US. Now, one thing I guarantee hasn't changed, and there we go. The U.S. debt keeps rising no matter what happens in the markets. What happened in Bitcoin? There's almost every day $4 to $5 billion additional U.S. debt. Currently up $4.5 billion from yesterday. 36 trillion, 526 billion, 563 million. That equals to 107,308 per U.S. citizen and 323,047 per U.S. taxpayer. So big time redness in the market today. If you have a little extra fiat kicking around, definitely a good time to buy the dip. And things should turn around, and you'll almost immediately have some gains. We hope again. This is all speculative, and certainly I do a good job of reading the news. I can only follow my own lead and advise what I have done and what I would do. It's like buying something on sale. When things are on sale at Best Buy, people are running in the store. When things are on sale in the stock market or in crypto, people are running away from the stores. So you can't look at it like that. You have to look at it like, hey, this thing's on sale, it's time to buy. And remember, when you're talking about investments, you are making your money on the buy. You're not making your money on the sale. People think, oh, I make the money when I sell. No, it's the opposite. You make the money when you buy. So if you're buying low, then that gives you the ability to sell high. If you're buying when everybody else is buying and the price is high, oh, it's green today, oh, the price is going up, you've bought on the high, haven't you? And you might have to wait longer to get gains out of it. So always keep in mind, buy on a down day, sell on an up day. Our first story talks about why, in fact, things are crashing. Again, this is a great opportunity for people to buy the dip, but let's go into some details as to why things are dipping the way they are today, and actually yesterday too. Bitcoin crash. Why BTC price suddenly is falling today? BTC price crash sees 7.72% down to 87,000 amid Trump tariff threats and Bybit hack, which is still ailing the market, causing a 1.59 billion in liquidations and market uncertainty. Bitcoin price has experienced a sharp decline, causing concern among investors. The BTC price has dropped 80 to 86,586, down 8.71% in the last 24 hours. The sudden Bitcoin crash has led to massive liquidations in the cryptocurrency market, rising questions about what triggered this downturn. And that's what we're here to talk about. Trump tariff concerns, escalation, sparks market uncertainty, reads the headline. One key factor behind the Bitcoin price crash is the recent escalation of tariff threats by former U.S. President Donald Trump on former president. I don't know if I trust this article already. On February 24th, Trump announced that sweeping tariffs on Canada and Mexico would take effect next week, ending a temporary pause. Well, this is what he said from the start. We're pausing for 30 days. And if these leaders couldn't get their act together in 30 days and at least start the discussion, what are they waiting for? This follows his earlier executive order on February 1st imposing 25% tariffs on Mexican and Canadian goods and an additional 10% duty on Canadian energy. The re-escalation of trade tensions has contributed to uncertainty in global markets, affecting investor sentiment. As a result, Bitcoin, which is often seen as a risk-sensitive asset, has been impacted. The BTC price fell to 86,200 during Tuesday's early European trade session, extending its losses from the previous day. The market reacted to the news with a series of liquidations totaling a 1.34 billion, wiping out approximately 367,500 traders, according to CoinGlass. Bybit hack adds pressure on Bitcoin market. The Bitcoin price crash was also influenced by last week's security breach at the Bybit cryptocurrency exchange. Funds worth 1.4 billion were stolen, causing Bybit to lose around 2 billion in Bitcoin from its reserve, as reported by CryptoQuant. A total of 20,190 BTC was withdrawn from Bybit reserve from Friday to Tuesday, reaching levels last seen early March 2024. So, of course, what happens is, Bybit gets hacked and everybody starts pulling their money out of Bybit. I don't trust these guys. They just got hacked. And, of course, Bybit came out the very next day. Oh, we have enough to cover everybody's losses. And certainly anyone who remembers FTX, that's exactly what FTX said. And then 24 hours after that, they filed for bankruptcy. So I could see why people are pulling their money out of that. The Bybit hack increased market anxiety, leading to more withdrawals as investors moved their assets to safer platforms. This contributed to the decline in BTC price, adding to the selling pressure already triggered by the tariff news. Despite the assurances from Bitcoin proponents that the hack was linked to Ethereum's vulnerabilities, the resulting market volatility affected Bitcoin as well. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. I don't trust Ethereum worth jack. Massive liquidations and bearish sentiment. The Bitcoin price crash has caused a wave of liquidations across the cryptocurrency market. According to CoinGlass, nearly 393,000 traders were liquidated in the past 24 hours, resulting in a total loss of 1.59 billion. Most of these liquidations were from long positions, accounting for approximately 90% of the total. Guys, I wouldn't be longing or shorting anything. Use your money, not stuff on margin. One of the largest liquidation orders occurred on the Justin Sun affiliated exchange, HTX, where a single trader lost $39 million. Oh my goodness. This represented over 5% of all Bitcoin positions liquidated today as the BTC price dropped to 86,000, its lowest level since mid-November. Analysts debated whether this was a temporary correction or a sign of more extended downturn. Jeff Kendrick from Standard Chartered suggested that BTC price could fall to the low 80,000 range before a potential rebound. He noted, before buying the dip is attractive, I think we get a $1 billion ETF outflow day. Meanwhile, market analyst Ali Martinez warned of a possible drop to 80 grand if the price breaks below key support levels. Will Bitcoin price skyrocket to $1 million is the next headline within the same article. Despite the ongoing Bitcoin crash, some industry leaders remain optimistic about Bitcoin's long-term value. Binance's co-founder Zhangpeng Zhao suggested that the current dip is just a step toward higher valuations, even predicting a future Bitcoin price of $1 million. He compared the situation to previous corrections, emphasizing that the Bitcoin has historically rebounded after significant declines. And that's pretty much what I'm saying too. However, who's more bullish than me? Nobody. Well, maybe CZ or CZ. He's Canadian, so CZ. Concurrently, Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, amid the Bitcoin crash, has urged the holders to buy the BTC as the price plummets. However, on-chain data indicates a decline in Bitcoin network activity, with the number of new addresses dropping to 240,000 daily, the lowest since July 2024. This decrease in network adoption points to a weakening demand, which has historically correlated with price declines. Currently, the Bitcoin price is trading at 87,000 with a 24-hour trading volume of 89 billion. Analysts are closely watching the 86,000 support level and the potential for a relief rally if price of BTC rebounds from the one-day 200 EMA. So there you have it. We're talking again about tariffs. This happened last time that Mexico and U.S. were going to be put under these tariffs from Trump. Price dropped. Then they came out, a few days later with a negotiation to delay the tariffs for 30 days, and the price went back up. And now, of course, the time of 30 days is coming up, and, just face it, how useless these leaders are. If they had these 30 days and nobody's done any further discussions, how slow moving are they? You would think with 30 days they would be doing nothing but discussing tariffs for 30 days. Instead, they wait for the 23rd hour, 29th day, and then they're going to start sucking up again and coming up with tears and cries and please, 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 and let's see what happens this time around. But, the Mexican and the Canadian prime ministers are just pieces of work, it seems. Sigh. Now, as the price declines, the smart money and the whales are buying this dip. They're waiting for an opportunity like this. They've got millions, maybe billions sitting on the sideline in fiat, and they don't want to sit in fiat currency because they know it's debased and they're guaranteed to lose about 10% of their value in a year. So they're looking to put their money in something profitable and steady. One of the things they're looking to put their money in is, of course, the Bitcoin. So whales shift 26,000 Bitcoin to accumulation addresses as BTC falls to a 3-month low. Bitcoin whales move 26,430 Bitcoin to known accumulation addresses as nearly 2 billion is liquidated from the total market cap. Bitcoin dropped to a 3-month low near 86,000 on February 25th today, while the data hints at further downside. BTC whales have also been accumulating. After weeks of defending its long-term market structure, BTC finally broke down, and the move could persist over the next few weeks. Bitcoin whales moved 2.3 billion in BTC, with the crypto asset currently down roughly 10% for the week. Bitcoin researcher Axel Adler Jr. said that this is BTC's largest quarterly drop of 20% since August 2024. The current drawdown is also twice as big as the average Bitcoin drawdown of 8.9% over the past year. The sharp correction also affected short-term holders with addresses that held BTC for less than 155 days, moving 27,500 Bitcoin at a loss over the past 24 hours. So these are the guys that said, oh, it's going down, sell, and, sold 27,000 Bitcoin at a loss over the last 24 hours. Just desperately seeing the downside and selling the downside instead of buying the downside. On the flip side, Bitcoin whales addresses appear to be making moves. Data from CryptoQuant suggested that 26,430 BTC were deposited to whale accumulation addresses on February 24th. These addresses are generally linked to OTC deals and a long-term custody. Right. So they're buying it on sale, and then they're thinking long-term custody. So when it goes up, they're automatically making money. It is worth noting that earlier in the week, Strategy announced the purchase of 20,000 Bitcoin for $2 billion, as reported by Cointelegraph. Yeah, he bought 20,000 Bitcoin at 97,000 yesterday. That would be Michael Saylor and Strategy B. And then, of course, he's probably thinking, man, I should have just waited one more day. But he buys every Monday typically, and he dollar cost averages, except, he's dollar cost averaging with $1 and $2 billion, and, the rest of us are dollar cost averaging with, hundreds of dollars. Bitcoin may bounce between 85 to 81,000. Bitcoin's daily candle closed between 92,000 range on February 24th, confirming the double top pattern that has been present for months. Yes, indeed. With a sharp bearish reaction occurring right after the pattern's completion. The technical drawdown is estimated to be 16% from the neckline around the 78 to 76,000 level, and here it is. And just interestingly enough, yesterday we were talking about the cup and handle, which was this, and things were supposed to kind of go up again here in the cup and handle. As illustrated in the chart below, a fair value gap between 81,700 and 85,000 was formed on November 11, 2024. This liquidity gap was not filled, and Bitcoin could eventually find bidders in this zone. CRG, an anonymous crypto trader, highlighted a big cluster of spot bids on Binance around 84,000 to 86,000, adding to the confluence of the fair value gap. It will be important to observe Bitcoin's reaction in this region, where a potentially dead cat bounce might occur. If Bitcoin does not respect the support level 81,000, the final support rests between the CME gap of 77,000 and 80,000. A drop to 77,000 will also complete the estimated range of the double top pattern, which is shown here. So this is the estimated range of the double top pattern, as we see. It's hard to say where we go from here. A good move for sure is buying the dip and, buying it on the way down. That's certainly what the whales are going to be doing. So follow the big money. And if you keep buying it on the way down, then, if you're buying here and here and here, and when the price turns, you see where your break even is going to be, right around these prices, and everything above that is going to be in the green. Look at it closely, bring up your own charts, do some research, but certainly I bought the dip, and if the price continues to go down, I'm going to buy the dip again and buy the dip again. A la, I was going to say a la Michael Saylor, but no, a la whales of the world. And steady, lads, because Bitcoin is still on track to hit 200,000 this year, says Analysts. Bitcoin still has a lot of room to run. Bernstein analysts have said Bitcoin may have dropped below 90,000 per coin for the first time since November, but it's still going to 200,000 this year, analysts have said. In a Tuesday report, researchers at the investment firm Bernstein wrote that the price drop will be brushed aside as institutions continue to flood the space. Yeah, maybe more than ever now that the prices are cheap. Bitcoin's price plunged to its lowest level since November on Monday. The drop comes after the biggest digital coin hit a new all-time high of nearly 109,000 ahead of the crypto-friendly Donald Trump's inauguration in January. We believe Bitcoin is yet to claim a cycle high, which we believe is closer to the 200,000 mark over the next 12 months. Bernstein analyst Gautam Chugani, Mahika Sapra, and Sanskar Chindalia wrote, adding that the price correction is another opportunity to participate in this cycle. The analyst noted that the drop in Bitcoin's value was partly down to risk-on assets experiencing a sell-off. Stocks pulled back on Tuesday as investors fear the Federal Reserve will keep interest rates higher for longer. Also, President Donald Trump is pushing ahead with an aggressive tariff policy, which has spooked investors, the report continued. Still, the bull run is still in play. Bitcoin is up 69% over the past year, and Bernstein analysts are keeping to their 2025 prediction of 200,000 per coin. As Bitcoin's current price of 87,000, that would mean it needs to increase by 129% in what remains of the year. But stranger things have happened in the crypto world. Indeed, they have. And we could see, I'm still waiting for the creator candle. We've got the God candle of $10,000 price increase per day, and that did happen in November of last year. And I'm still waiting for the creator candle of a $100,000 increase in 1 year. And if Trump, comes out and says, yes, we are creating this Bitcoin strategic reserve, which they've already created a bill to investigate to see if a Bitcoin reserve is a good thing for the states. And they were given 180 days to go out and do that, to conduct an investigation. So that 180 days brings us into July. Well, that would be the end of July is the end of that 180 days. So between now and then, they're going to come out with an answer and say, yes, we're going to create a Bitcoin reserve, or no, we're not. So if the answer is yes, I expect a big bull run. If the answer is no, I expect the opposite. But until then, it's a good time to buy the dip because the price is lower than it's been in quite some time. And as always, when you're buying any investment, any asset, doesn't even in real estate, if you're going to buy a $500,000 house and the market's tanked, and you can get it for 400, but it's really worth 500, you pick it up for 4, and you've already made $100,000. So similar thing with financial assets. When the price dips, it's time to buy. Hopefully, this helped a few people get over the stress of the big dip in Bitcoin. We see why it happened. We're going back to the tariff talks. And of course, on top of that was the Ethereum hack, which has nothing to do with Bitcoin, but, crypto, everything is crypto, they think. So, the whole market kind of takes effect, and it all As they say, when the tide rises, all ships rise with it, and the same goes on the other side. But please remember, everybody, that money is abundant, so don't be stressed. Money is everywhere. There's over $700 trillion of assets in the world. Time is what's scarce, so use your time wisely. I can't stress it enough. Spend less money than what you earn. If you suddenly start making more money, save more money. Don't spend more money, and start saving today. The younger you start saving, the better. Start saving when you're in your teens or in your 20s, and you should be able to retire when you're 40 and in your prime, not when you're 65 or 70 and you're not able to do the things you like to do. If you've got a great idea, start that great idea today. Additionally, don't put it off for tomorrow. Even if you're not ready, start today and things will come together for you. Folks, I'm on a mission to hit 500 subscribers this year, and it's going to happen. I would love it if you came along for the ride. If you found this stream enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next stream. Folks, thanks so much for joining.